I don't know if I look
better there or
better there or now.
You looked more tired here, I think.
Yeah, I think I look pretty better now.
We're back in Birmingham once again, 1 year on. So I think this will be 53 or 54, the vlog. So just over a year of the vlog and a year of our lives. And we're back to review the year. I've put together some little footage from moments from the vlog. I haven't showed this to James, because I wanted him to have his unique thoughts. Yeah, and we're going to talk about some stuff, things that have gone well, things that haven't gone well.
We've learnt a lot.
We have.
But I'm intrigued to see what these are. I'm fascinated.
Part 1, all the way back to the 20th of December 2024. We were talking about what Rupert is, why we're doing these videos, and we will see what you had to say.
The plan originally this year, we wanted to get to 1,000 users by the end of the year, didn't we? And we failed miserably. I thought that if we can get to 1,000 users by the end of 2025, we'll be doing really well as a platform. We're going to film the intro for the in the comments.
Which is a different thing to
Which is a different thing. It'll be a hard figure to hit. SaaS platforms are not easy to build, as I'm learning every day. They're also not cheap to build. I'm learning that every day. It's very different more to the agency world that I came from. And data, which obviously selling those last year was brilliant. Not having my mobile call all day, every day, that's the weirdest thing. It's been hard because I've gone from speaking to 1 million people a day to none, or you. It's weird.
A bit more bleak.
It's fucking bleak. But now it's an acquisition train. So, we need to acquire customers as quickly as possible. And I also need the developers to finish off the UX with HubSpot. At the moment we've got a real issue, which is when you connect an account on Rupert to your Meta Facebook or Instagram account, if you select the wrong permissions, it won't put in the data, or it just won't allow you to do it, which isn't a me problem, it's a Meta problem. I've just instructed the guys to move ahead to do the same UX as HubSpot, Hootsuite, as you do with Planable, which will make a huge difference.
A lot to unpack.
Oh, I remember all those problems with the
login. I was going to say, like, the login issues were like the first major thing, like that kind of categorized the whole beginning of the year. It was like getting people signed up, and not only signed up, getting them to connect their accounts and click the right things. That was like the big problem at the start.
Yeah, it's really interesting looking back at that, because obviously we spent a lot of money on changing the UX of the connection. So when you log into Meta, like you would on any social scheduling tool, it comes up with a certain sort of UX, and everyone's sort of used to the same one. And we then realised that we hadn't had that, so we then had to re-engineer it, which obviously from a cost perspective was quite damaging. Obviously we did it, and then we realised that actually that isn't always the battle. So that's the hard thing with SaaS, that you build all the platform out, but you don't know until you go to that next stage and drive traffic to it, or you drive traffic to a certain element to it, and then you start finding all these bottlenecks. But the problem is every bit costs so much bloody money. It was good because we've, like I said, learned a lot from that, and actually when you look at it now, it's obviously clearly a lot better. And we don't have any issues with people logging in now in terms of the connection, which is brilliant. We still have issues when people have the wrong permissions, but obviously that's not us problem, that's a them problem.
It's not them having to click the right thing anymore.
No, it's pretty, it's preset now, which is great.
On the first time that we were here as well was when we were playing the In the Comments podcast, which we did do for a while. Some people might remember.
We did 5 episodes, didn't we?
As with most of the stuff we do, I think it was better than it was received. The idea, I think, was good, because it was like, hey, get people on, talk about their comments, use that as content, but also try and get them to use Rupert. But in reality, it didn't kind of work out as we hoped, I guess.
The problem is, and this will probably become apparent throughout this review, is that I always talk about optimising our time. And there's some things you have to put resource towards, and sometimes you have to pull and retract resource to certain things. We just don't have the resource to do that as well as everything else. So although I agree absolutely. The problem is the calibre of guests was good.
You needed like bigger people, didn't you? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on now, a month ahead. We're at the 20th of January.
I look knackered, by the way. I'm going on to a call with the guys at TC9. The results aren't great so far. Again, they've still got 4 weeks to prove themselves, and if not, we just move on and hopefully come back to these guys in a future month when we've got a bit more money.
TC9, one of the first probably big expenses that we had.
Yeah, it was. I have to say though, although it didn't produce what I wanted it to within the time frame that I gave them, we still have got some customers that haven't left from that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Lola Blankets being the bigger one. That one was irritating actually, because obviously my background is email, right? I was very candid. I said, look, I want to see these figures because I can potentially help support. And they just refused to really give me anything. And we don't look at that figure. I'm like, well, well, maybe you should, because that can really help. They were nice lads. It wasn't a waste because we got customers from there. Obviously, email is something that we are doing. Literally, it's gone live this morning, and we're sending out 340,000 emails a month as of today. But that stuff, it worked in the short time. Could you have kept it going? The problem was it was costing so much bloody money.
Yeah.
I was like, and this is where you've got to really look at where you invest your time and, again, funds, because if we'd have kept going for another month at the run rate we were having, we'd have probably lost more money. Again, it worked. We got customers, and again, our churn rate is still 0. So all the customers they did produce for us are still generating revenue. So actually, has it paid for itself? Probably has, actually.
Nice. Next up, later in January. I love this image. This is one of my favourite images from the whole year. You and Mr.
And you weren't there.
Mr. Breeder. No, I know. I was living like vicariously, because I remember you like sent me a WhatsApp and you were like, "Oh, we're on the Instagram," and I was trying to find it. I was screen recording it because I was like, I didn't know if it was going to like disappear or whatever. So, and I think weirdly this I was thinking, seeing this image, it's weird how this kind of put into motion a lot of the activation pieces that we still do, like with obviously the scrolls. Obviously they're different now, they're smaller and they're not on this sort of scale, but from this is now a thing that we're still doing it.
That whole experience was bizarre. And the reality is, when we went in to do the pitch to camera, I failed, right? So then obviously when we still stayed around for a little bit and heard that James was happy to take more pitches face to face, I was like, well, we've done all this, let's go and do it. And obviously subsequently you saw what unravelled, and it was great. He was really engaged. The whole room stopped. It was just one of those.
Big moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. I was hoping for some really momentum after that, but some really good things come from it. We met some really good people down there. I met Oliver from Pinpoint Media, who did the recordings for it, who has then introduced me to some other people. We won Brewdog from this as well. Mm-hmm. So Brewdog are now a client and potentially going to be a client of our news service. And the activation piece, like you said, activation piece is going to be a real part of this year. And actually, when we go and pitch for bigger work, I actually want to go and do this activation piece in their offices with them.
Oh, okay, nice.
That's a showstopper. But what an experience. It was bloody great.
That show kind of obviously didn't pan out in many ways like we expected it to. Obviously, we were pinning a lot of our hopes from a lot of those clips around that time. It was a lot of like, if we can just get on the show, this and that. But I wonder, if we'd have got on the show, do you think it would have changed the approach for Rupert? Like, would we have stuck with sort of the SaaS mass market go to people if we were on the show, do you think?
The answer is yes. The other answer is no. The SaaS play is still part of the journey and the evolution. There's still brands that can't afford to outsource their community management, their comment management, that do want to do it internally, they do want to safeguard their brand. The SaaS play is still an absolute key, pivotal part of what we're going to be doing this year. The difference is that it's not the sole focus. Mm-hmm. So we've got sort of two plays. We've got the SaaS and then we've got the managed service or the agency side. Look, I think being on that show, if it had come to fruition, would have been a game changer. I truly believe that. I love the concept of it. Would we have got on? I don't know is the answer. We just don't know. Obviously, we gave a good pitch that day and we were one of his top 5, which was incredible really when you look back. I do believe it would have changed the trajectory of Rupert by a significant amount.
We are at the 3rd of February.
Partner signed up, Unique Productions. He's now got his affiliate link, and anybody that he would now refers to Rupert, he'll get 50% of revenue for the first 3 years of their subscription. Boom, easy as that. One down, hopefully 1,000 to go. Get in there.
Partner program.
Oh, the partner program.
I didn't mean to bring up old wounds.
The partner program is really frustrating because it's still in my pipeline for this year of how we can really extract value commercially. They can just send me an invoice for for the commission, which is how that partner program works. But also you've got the element of, if they want to use Rupert or the platform for their own, add that service into their business, it's going to make their clients stickier. And I don't know why I haven't been able to nail the partner program. I can't.
Everything planning it should have worked, but for some reason it just...
And Guy helped us really, Guy helped for a bit. We've tried a lot this year, and actually positively we've learned a lot. So although it's not been great in terms of commercially, actually you look back and go, would we have been where we are without those learnings? The answer is no. But yeah, the partner program is one of those where it's a bit of a sore spot for me because it should work, and I'm sure it will work, but we just need to nail and refine.
Yeah, that's fair. Moving on.
Oh, yeah.
19th of Feb.
Did I get it or not? Open it. Yes, it's been successful. Get the f*** in. Yes. Fucking yes. Get in. Boom. Yes. Yes.
I remember that. Innovate grant.
We did get the grant.
We did.
I only got paid yesterday.
And that was when the February.
So we've paid all the suppliers out, and I've been waiting for that money. Getting an Innovate grant is not easy. James Brown helped us with the application. Again, without that money, really, we'd have been in a bit of hot water.
So let us do all the like YouTube, TikTok.
Yeah, YouTube, TikTok integrations were able to be developed because of that grant. So no, that Innovate grant was brilliant. Yeah, I'll take that all day. Could do some more, really. No way. Puresport.
I think this was the day after.
It was. Puresport have created an account. He's the COO at Puresport. Okay, that's really cool. Fuck. I'm a client of Puresport. I'm a customer. Let's give me a lease of life this morning. Fucking get in there. Ah, little wins. Fucking yes.
So they were like one of our first big clients, weren't they? Sort of out of the blue.
So I'm literally, again, just for reference here, you know, I am actually a customer of
You were using them
Puresport.
Before this as well.
Yeah, no, I've been using them for years. Like whether it be.
Because you said them to me, and I was like, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, I'm in the running world, aren't I?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Day after the grant as well, I didn't realise.
2 days in the shop, mate. I don't know. There's not many of these on there.
Back to back.
But that was lovely because you know it shows that it's not only you that think, oh, this is a good idea. Actually, brands that you're associated to and you're advocating for yourself are then seeing that. I like that.
I said it in the vlog. I was like, it looks like stage, but it's actually like you literally just got a. Did you get an email or something just saying?
No, it just because I get an email notification when someone signed up. So it was like ping. Puresport, and I was like, fucking. I was like, is that?
You're still affiliated with.
Got a meeting with Daniel in the next couple of weeks to talk about a new service. So yeah, there you go.
Love
Some
that.
positives from this. Right, what day are we on now? All of this traffic and all these leads so far are coming from Facebook ads, which for us to get to sort of 5,000-ish users, we'll obviously need that as a channel to acquire customers. But what is interesting is that even when you looked at Teresa, who's picked up the phone, she's got no comments whatsoever. She's not. I think she had 4 in the last year. Now she's not the best fit for Rupert. What I now then need to look at is, in terms of targeting, making sure we are engaging with the right businesses, and the money that I'm spending on these channels, is it creating the right type of customers?
Facebook ads? We had a while of you calling random people who'd never heard of Instagram.
Again, you know, the learnings we had from that is we were getting mixed up with I don't know what, being really honest. I think if we went down the freemium version, Facebook ads work really well. Again, the money that I could spend on ads could be infinite, right? I could spend money to the blue in the face, and some will come from it. We still don't know what our LTV is because no one's left us.
Yeah.
And then how much is someone willing to spend a month, a smaller business or a freelancer in safeguarding the brand? The answer is I don't know. The problem, what issue you've got here is that you don't actually know how many comments they receive. It was good learning. It's something I'd like to turn on. We're actually turning them back on today, but from a retargeting perspective. Mm-hmm. But in terms of sort of new biz going out, cold outreach, I think when we're further down the line and we go down the freemium model like a HubSpot, which is, hey, here's a free account, you can have 10 safeguarding quarantine like tokens a month. You can have another 10 for £1 or whatever, whatever that may be. At the moment, the business model's not right and the tech isn't built for being a freemium model. So did it work? Yes. Can it produce revenue? Yes. Is it right for today now? No, it probably won't be for another 18 months, realistically. I now need to look at, do I look at bringing in a CTO type person who can get what's in my brain to the developers? Or alternatively, do I bring in a replacement or bring someone else in to help me with sales and marketing for the agencies? And that's where my predicament is.
You obviously went down the CTO route. Do you think that was the right path to go down?
The answer is yes. Yeah, where we are today is the right sort of structure. I still want someone to come in and do the sales and marketing. The stuff we do is great, but actually I want someone to really push that marketing side, whether it be emails or whether it be content, and supporting you on that side, because we do so much. I think we can do so much more with that. Give me the good news.
It's not good. We've only pros.
So May, I had many calls on this.
Yeah, I know. This was one of
one of many.
To categorise 6,000 comments today so far.
What? How long is this going to take, mate?
In its current form, it could take a long time. I don't think it's doable to wait in its current form unless...
Oh, this is a disaster.
This is all kind of linked together, but yeah.
2.0 is live.
That first conversation, and that was, you were trying to get 2.0 live, but then obviously the processing took a lot longer than you thought it would.
Yeah, so what we were trying to do is recategorize all the comments that was in the system currently to then transfer over to Rupert 2.0, which is like all the tags. We'd had a couple of servers running and calculated that it would take this amount of time, which was like 7 hours. And obviously Rob was 6 hours in and did 1% of the total. And obviously it's great because we've got so many comments. But yeah, that was like great because we'd obviously notified all the clients, then we had to email them back. And the problem is we had to revert all the tech back to the original one. It was just... Yeah, but that was one of numerous conversations that Rob and I had.
Yeah, so the 22nd of May is when it did actually go live. Is there a part of you that, in hindsight, obviously I don't know how feasible it would have been, but launching Rupert like that and not having version 1.0, like if 2.0 was how it was originally from the start, would that have been doable?
No, because some of the things we wouldn't have known to do without having version 1. If you look at something and go, right, how can we make it better? Again, looking at people how we're using the system, looking at the data from it, would we have known what 2.0 would have been without version 1? The probably answer is no. Good feedback, and it's just now figuring out how do agencies play a part in Rupert's growth. I mean, it might be that agencies aren't the route. I think there is a route with them, but I'm just trying to figure out how we do it. It might be that it's just that these agencies are just purely affiliates, a bit like a lot of the email platforms are. Klaviyo have done very well off it. Go High Level have done well off it. But I think the agencies using it for themselves, I'm struggling at the moment.
Again, it's something that should work, and you see it work for other businesses, but for some reason it's...
You need to put work into agencies. Got to call it 2. With an agency, he's managed to get me a 2-year contract with someone. A year contract with someone, which is fantastic. So you've got to understand that we're brand new to the market, and does that agency trust us yet? No. Are they willing to put their neck on the line and pass me to a client? I wouldn't. In my eyes, we've got an amazing platform that can really help support their clients. But I also understand it from an agency perspective, which is, James, if I give you this client and you fuck up and I lose them, I'm not going to be very good friends with you. And that's absolutely fair. Would they be happy to send out Sprout Social? Yes, because they're a trustworthy provider in the market, and the people that have passed me on to people, I'm very appreciative of that because they didn't have to, and it's kind of them to do that. And hopefully that will keep growing. And if the word gets out, we're helping more and more brands, then that's a good thing, right? Really, ideally, longer term, you'd actually have a partnerships manager who is really pushing that side of it. Yeah. But again, a partnership manager costs a lot of money. There's going to be a 12-month delay in terms of getting revenue from that unless they come with a black book. Yeah. And these are all the things you need to think about because we're in the position we are.
Everything costs money.
Everything costs money. It's like, right, where can I spend funds and resource that is going to produce a result within a time frame that works for us? Yeah. So this bit.
It's awards time. There he is. Get it!
Not really fat.
This is probably like the happiest I've ever seen you. Like when you came back. Look at that. It's the happiest James has ever been on the vlog, I think. I think when you work on it all the time, it's like your little thing. And then when you're at an awards thing like that and they're like, oh, now someone's talking about our company, it's kind of a bit weird. It's like, it sort of showed, that what we are doing is good. It kind of validated it a bit for me, I think.
Yeah, validate's a really good word. I said it definitely validated the work that we've done today, and you're competing with other businesses who are, brilliant. Obviously, look, we didn't win I don't know if this is in here, we didn't win the overall one.
Yeah, I don't think I included the rest of it.
Magic Ale were always going to win that. I said that before. Like, they're always going to. It's a lot more sexier. But, winning our regional heat was great. And yeah, like I said, it validates all the hard work you've done. And, all of us have put a lot of hard work into this. So yeah, that was a win. For us internally, but also, for anyone else that's been part of this in some way, was great, but it was a nice little win, wasn't it? Where are we now? July.
Absolutely flying. I'm so happy with them. I've just started a new funnel. What I've decided to do is create a webinar funnel. Rather than clicking on booking a demo, they're going to go through to a landing page where there's a video, 5-minute video of me demoing Rupert, and at the end of the demo, if they watch all 5 minutes of it, they get his discount code for the first 6 months. If this goes anything like what we're doing at the moment, I've got a sneaky suspicion this is going to fly. And if it does, the exciting thing is I can scale this very quickly. The user base can grow overnight. I've got a feeling that this is going to be fantastic, but I could be wrong.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
Future James.
I was wrong. It was because we don't have a freemium model.
Yeah.
It was a wrong funnel for the product we've got today.
Do you think that webinar sort of funnel could work like in the future?
Yeah, again, this can all be turned on once the system is built to run a freemium model.
How are we, Michael?
James was a bit grumpy. He'd said to me, I'm not filming anything, screw the vlog. He did actually say something to the effect of that, by the way. But some context around this. So as James had said earlier, the TikTok and YouTube update was supposed to be rolled out Wednesday or Thursday of the week that you're watching. So basically latest by the day that this footage is from. Unfortunately, there were some unforeseen technical difficulties, I suppose we shall say. Basically, more verification steps we didn't realise were needed. So it meant the update was delayed again, hence why he's a bit frustrated here. Also, said verification could take up to 10 days. From the 3rd of August, James was out of the office because he was travelling to Austria for a race, so he wouldn't be online consistently, so this would potentially again make that difficult. All in all, James was a bit annoyed, hence why he hadn't filmed anything for the 2 days prior.
What great is that? Delayed again. Shit. And there's no sweets in the podcast room, which I'm really disappointed at. So yeah, not been a great day. All in all.
Do you know what? When you look at throughout this year, anytime there's a problem, is when I was going away. 2 days before, there's an issue. I'm like, hey, I'm travelling in a day or two. So it would be happening. I'm like, why are we releasing this the fucking day I'm going away?
Yeah.
That was a pain in the arse, that one, because that was an oversight. A couple of the lads hadn't looked at some of the T's and C's and some of the detail, and that's where it missed up. So that's why I was annoyed on that one. I'm a massive fan of being in control of the controllables. That was within our control and we fucked up. And it's just an oversight, fine, it's human error. But yeah, I was not overly impressed with that one.
Selected, I think it's about 50, 60 companies where I know they get high volume of traffic when it comes to comments. So I'm reaching out to their CEO, CFOs and CMOs, all with different messaging. I've done the first 5 or 6 businesses. I think I just finished on Aviva. So again, you'll see that the types of businesses we're going after, they're a lot bigger. If I can get 100 of those by the end of the year, it means we'll be doing 600 grand worth of revenue, monthly recurring revenue, which is a really good start on where we are. So
I'm guessing we're not doing 600k monthly revenue.
I think we know the answer to that, Michael.
Unless you haven't told me something.
Trust me, you'd have known.
So this was sort of like the turning point towards going after the big businesses, which is sort of more what we're kind of doing now.
Yeah.
Was there anything specifically at this time that made this be like, right, now we have to change, we have to go after the big businesses?
We had enough data, right? The agency stuff wasn't working. Funneling data from Meta wasn't working. So it's like, we need to pivot. And again, what you can't pivot to is conversations that someone that's going to spend 100 quid a month, because you're just not going to get the scale. You're actually adding more value to the bigger boys because you can extract more value from them. And again, like I said earlier, is that the SaaS play isn't gone. It's just we need to sort of flip it on its head for the time being and use it as a downsell for the time being.
Moving on. Educational content. September was when we started doing the...
Was it September?
Yeah. Was when we started filming the education. So earlier in the year, you were doing... We haven't included it in this, but you were doing LinkedIn Lives. This sort of evolved from a LinkedIn Live in a way. What was it that made you want to do the educational content in the first? Because it was your idea. You came to me with like, we need to do educational content. Why was that?
More because it's evergreen. Good example is this: if you've got a certain boiler at home and the pressure goes down, you Google that, it comes up with a YouTube video. That video will be used for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I want this to be the same. The LinkedIn Lives just didn't get the traction, frustratingly, although I thought they're pretty good. Again, in terms of optimising our time and your time, we can do loads of them, can't we, at one time? They're written very well. You know, we'd only get a few views on YouTube.
But again, they can kind of get views for
years to come.
Yeah.
Donkey's years. Because I can sit there for 10 years and get views.
Next up, Ideas Fest. Met your hero, James Sinclair.
I would say he's my hero. We got a few clients on this.
I saw Ideas Fest, and then I thought like the stuff we wanted to come from it didn't come from it. But then when I thought about it, I was like, actually, Maya Master was here.
So
Daniel Priestley's here.
So Maya Master is a client, has been for a few months now, and they're about to potentially go on to the service offering. Grace is a client
Shout
still.
out.
Helpbank aren't a client, although they should be, which is a bit weird, but I won't go into that one. Daniel
still in the
Priestley's
works.
verbally agreed it with him and his team, so I'm just waiting for them to sign the contract. So actually that worked quite well.
I'm happiest with this video out of all the videos we did. If somebody was like, you can only watch one, I'd be like, this is the one to watch.
Yeah.
James Sinclair, we've got Simmer, which I think this is probably one of the funniest, one of my favourite moments from the thing.
I'd rather not. I'm gonna not carry this around with me though. But if you can send it to me virtually, that'd be great.
That was quality. We obviously had Lottie, Daniel Priestley.
Yeah. Lottie actually remembers the pitch really well. She's like, I'm dealing with this problem now, and I'll be honest, Rupert is really helping her and her brand at the moment without a shadow, so that's a really good case study. So was it a great event? No. The weather was rubbish, ICP wasn't there. We obviously went because we were, one of the finalists, and obviously we didn't win. Magic AI won, and I'll be honest, they should have won it, but it was a good event, but it was bloody cold.
I reckon 15 minutes before
October.
my call with the big communications company. This is a bit of a turning point potentially for Rupert, because the revenue that's going to be brought in from this particular client is huge. They could eclipse what anyone's paying so far. It's going to boost revenue, so we'll pretty much be breaking even. My plan was that by the end of the year, if I did that by October, I'd be chuffed more than anything at all. What I think it's also going to do is it's going to validate, for me, that actually we can be going after these bigger clients with actual decent budgets who actually value their branding online. And really big day today. And it's an hour's time, which is bloody scary.
So obviously that didn't pan out in the way we wanted it to, but is there anything you've learnt from that situation, sort of good or bad?
No, look, everything we've done and learned is good.
Is there anything you would have done differently, or do you just see it as just one of those things where you did
No, you
everything
can't win them all. The senior leadership team wanted to use Rupert. The bods on the ground didn't. It's not a main part of the business. Could we have saved headcount? Yes. Could we have helped them with actually some of the welfare issues internally? Absolutely. Were they having problems with people going off sick because they were dealing with so many negative comments? Yes, but it's just something they didn't want to do. Actually, we learned a lot to go. Actually, maybe we can just do this for our own clients, which is obviously what Rupert Connect is now. So the FD and the operations director, and both of them were like, "This is a fucking no-brainer," but they were just the wrong partner for us.
Had some other, so as well as Ideas Fest, we had some other in-person events. Obviously the marketing awards on the boat in London in October, and then we had obviously here you at Canva. So they both probably brought about some opportunities, probably not in the way we wanted them to. We kind of went in hoping they'd go better than they probably did. But is there anything from these events that taken into this year, like we're going to be like, here's how we're going to get more from these events, or what we've learned from doing these events or anything like that?
For context, we've sponsored Social Day for the entire year. Problem is when you're in these early stage, whenever you're allocating funds to an event or something, is how can I get the best out of it? And we do a lot of prep for these events, so we don't go into them, light. Again, our scrolls and activation piece, like I said earlier. And then when you get to the events and none of your people that you've gone to target have turned up, it really does frustrate you. We can't just have a presence, we have to have a conversion. There's things that are still in my pipeline which I'm still working towards, but as of today, as the 22nd of Jan, we've not had any conversions. The meeting we've had have been not great. So the big one for that is the Festival of Social Media in April, May time. We'll be there exhibiting, and that's a 2-day event. So I'm hoping that we can really make hay on that one. So so far it's not been great, but the events themselves are great. To be fair, Canva said they want to have a conversation, so I'm sure.
Obviously, if something like that happens, then obviously suddenly it's worth.
But the problem is with all this stuff, Michael, is that Lachlan, really nice guy. I'm still trying to get hold of him, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, touch wood, it will provide some revenue, and I think it will. But as of today, I've got my sceptical hat on.
I think we're near the end now.
Oh,
Christmas ad was probably the way we rounded out the year. As is the case with a lot of the stuff we talk about, it didn't do probably what we wanted it to do. But in terms of just the video we created, I think it's like, again, showed sort of what we were able to achieve.
I love the Christmas video. You and Katie did an amazing job. You say it didn't do what it wanted to do. I think actually this is something you've probably got to remember more than anyone actually, which is how many people need touch points before they buy from us, right?
Yeah.
It's another touch point. That might have only had 400 impressions. It had more than that, but let's say it did. There's 400 people who've had another touch point with us. And if they need a minimum of 8 to actually have an engagement conversation with us, well, they're a little bit further forward. So it's just that.
It's all like building towards.
Absolutely. So I don't see that as a failure at all. And everyone I've spoken to loved it. They thought it was great. So, from my side, it was successful.
Moving into 2026, what was the plan? Like, is it still 1,000 users? Have we abandoned
No, I think that's still
1,000 users?
No, look, I think that's still the goal. We still want 1,000 users on Rupert, but I think our direction of travel has changed in terms of our ICP. I think we need to, or what we are doing now is we've opened up Rupert Connect. So Rupert Connect now is a fully managed service. So it's back to the agency days, as it were. So we'll be able to manage your social media comments and your community management internally for a client. Our proprietary tech, which is Rupert, is going to do the heavy lifting. We can have teams, boots on the ground doing this for clients, and for us, it should still be a cash positive investment, not a cost, because if you looked at December's figures, we unearthed £500,000 of revenue for clients in terms of opportunities. This is people that are sleeping on money. They're still not responding because they don't have the manpower. So we can do that. We're going to do that for them. And then that opens up a different breed of conversation with people like Brewdog, with Puresport, with Rupert, all these ones that we're having conversations with. Opens up a different type of dialogue. We can charge more. They're winning, we're winning. Everyone is happy. It means that they can potentially spend less on ad spend or reduce their CPMs. So all of this stuff starts making sense. And I think without the last year, we wouldn't have got to where we are today to go, actually, this is something we have to do. Now, there are some aspects to Rupert Connect. So you've got the sort of community management side. But what you've also got is we're calling them like a 90-day workflow. So let's say someone comments on a client's post about ice baths, and it's a sales opportunity where someone's literally trying to buy the product. What we're now going to do is, like an email flow, depending on what they do, they get different interaction, is do that publicly on the comments. So it might be, here's the initial comment, then 10 days later we're like, hey, how are you getting on with your ice bath? Did you find any issues? Let us know of your delivery, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But this is public, so people can see it. It might be another 2 days later, which is, hey, look, you've got your ice bath now, which is brilliant. There's a video here which shows you how to get the best from your ice bath. Why don't you watch it? Now, what that's going to happen is it's going to engage that person that's originally commented, but it's also going to engage all the lurkers that are just looking in the background. Because if someone sees that's how you communicate to your audience, the likelihood is they're going to be more willing to buy from your brand opposed to a competitor. Absolutely.
They're there trying to, make sure you're getting on okay.
And no one's ever done this. No one. That's going live at the moment. We've also got an outreach program, which is going live within Rupert Connect, which is, again, using the ice bath analogy. Let's say someone in the last 12 months referenced an ice bath on their comments or commented on an ad which was to do with ice baths. We're now going to actually pull all that data in from the previous 12 months, create a campaign. Let's say there's a discounted on an ice bath, or they're trying to get rid of some old stock. We're then going to comment on all those old posts 12 months ago to say, hey, we know you're in, obviously everyone will be unique because that's what Rupert does. Here's a link to an ice bath. We know you're interested then. If you haven't got one, we've got a discount running at the moment. Here's the link to re-engaging then all of those old contacts.
That's cool.
So there's some really cool stuff going on at the moment that we can then go to these larger opportunities, because we can literally say your investment is exactly that. This is an investment, it's not a cost. You've spent this on community management this month and you've revenued X. They're going to go, well, this is a fucking no-brainer. And you'll never lose a client then. All of Q4 we've been working on this with the help of Go Live as well. They're helping with the development side of that. We've obviously got the emails going out as well now, which is exciting. So that's where we're really going to position ourselves to this next 12 months. We've got the downsell opportunity of Rupert SaaS, or the upsell opportunity vice versa. So we can't, we can sort of service the entire market.
It's a bit more flexible that way.
100%.
Obviously, we never know what the future holds, but all being well, if we were here this time next year, what would your hope for Rupert be?
What do I hope? This might sound a bit cringe. I just want us to be sustainable. We're still in our infancy. We're a 12-month in, Michael. When you look at MIB, it took me years to grow that, and obviously, thankfully, we were able to sell it. it took 15 years to do that. So, sometimes you need to reflect and go, look at all the amazing things we did this year. Look how much we've learned last year, sorry. But for next year, I'd like to see it the next year and go, right, we've got this many clients. I don't know what that number is, so I don't want to, we've got this many clients on the SaaS side, we've got this many clients on the service side. Our churn rate is still very low. It won't be zero because that's just the nature of the beast. It won't be zero. And we've got a team of community managers and social media managers who are really adding value to clients. And that's where I'd like us to be in 12 months so that we can, rather than, really pushing, trying to find the pennies at the bottom of our purse, is go, right, we've got an idea, we've got the money to invest in it. That's where I'd like to be in 12 months. What I'd like to do, sort of mini goals, is I want us to go to more events. I want us to actually sort of exhibit at more events. The problem with that is it costs money, and there's loads of events in Europe that we could go to. That's what I think they're the two goals for me, is that, we need to be a sustainable business. We can't do another year of what we've done by losing the money we've done every month. We're 11 months away now. We're near the end of Jan. We've got to be sustainable, and that's not a lot. That doesn't mean
Doesn't take a lot, especially with bigger clients.
No, absolutely not. So we just want to be, I want us to be sustainable. So I think that's where I'd like to be in 12 months. What about you? Where do you want us to be in 12 months? Obviously not closed down.
This year's been a lot of putting pieces kind of in place, and I suppose you want by this time next year some of those things to come to fruition. And I suppose selfishly, the video stuff that we're doing to reach more people and that sort of, obviously that's just from my own sanity to know that what I'm doing is reaching people. But I think it's the same. It's just sort of more of the same and helping more people. And obviously we're in a position where we're not scraping the barrel, as you say. We've got a bit more leeway to do more and test more.
And we will get there. I've got no doubt about that. This last year was really difficult. We've got the new developers and bringing Tim on board, and obviously the structure we've got now, that was working really well. So look, there's massive change this next year, and with the meetings that I've got booked in for the next 3 weeks, they come in, all of them. It's a different game altogether already, within such a small... Absolutely. When you look at this year, we've done a fucking lot in a year. That's actually quite exciting, actually. So, we've done a lot in a year. We're probably a lot further forward than most brands will be. Because I think we've really gone hell for leather. I think we just need to double down now and just push, and we will. We'll definitely get there. But we'll be sat in this office in a year's time. Then who knows what?
2027 that'll be. So there you go. That is our year in review.
Let's just crack on, do what we do. Although I moan a lot, it is good. What else would we be doing?
So we'll see you, all you lot, in a year's time.
In the comments. I'll reference that.